you can now go through accessible.org for both audit and remediation services. And I think this is extremely helpful because it consolidates all of your energy and efforts into one place, one transaction. Whereas if you go to most other accessibility providers, they will not remediate your website. So they will provide you an audit, but they will not touch your code. And so with accessible.org, if you would like, you have the option now where you can not only not only get an audit, but you can also get remediation services done. Now, content is separate in the sense that there's your code, but then there's your content. So content remediation isn't code remediation. So content being videos, adding closed captions to your videos, or providing transcripts for podcasts, even adding alternative text for different images. That really wouldn't be the place for remediation, because remediation is more like making your code accessible. But these are services that we can provide. It's just that you may be better off doing those internally or sourcing them to someone else. But if you would like to use Accessible for that, you can as well. But the point is that there is a provider that will do this all for you at a fair price. I'm definitely not the cheapest, but what you will find is that the quality is excellent, and you will also find that you save time. And I think there's also some money savings in getting everything done at one place. So the traditional route is to go to an accessibility provider, you get an audit from that provider, but then you have to go somewhere else. So let's say a web design agency that is experienced and knowledgeable in accessibility, and then you have to hire them separately. And those two separate transactions, of course, there is just there's a startup fee to each of them, right? It's implicit in the buy. Whereas if you're dealing with the same person, you don't have to have that separate transaction and that separate premium that gets added on when you're just dealing with different parties. So I think this does provide some efficiency, and especially not only in terms of cost, but definitely in terms of speed and turnaround time. And so that service is available. I think it's extremely valuable, and I've talked about how an audit and remediation, there's a disconnect, and that disconnect creates friction. Well, now that disconnect will not exist. I think it's going to help website owners. So there really is a service where you can get everything done for you. Provided we'll talk about content separately, and we'll specify that within the scope. But we'll detail all the scope. You'll know exactly what to expect. But the key is that if you're a website owner, the need to research, your need to go to different providers, your need to contact support and get consultation on how to implement the issues found in an audit, that is all resolved now. This is all something where you can get your audit and remediation services done in one place.